So we will wait for others to join. We'll start within 5 minutes. Let the other student join. Why the attendance is so low today? I'm waiting for the students. I have dropped the message on the group. Let us wait for 2-3 more minutes. Then we will start. Now we will start. So we were dealing with the numericals on the stress concept. So we will continue with that, and also uh, we will see load balancing concept today. Okay, one numerical we will take, and then we will move for the load balancing concept. Already we have taken numerical on this. So I will write the problem now. Uh, a pre-stressed concrete beam pre-stressed concrete beam of rectangular section of a rectangular section 300 mm wide 300 mm wide and 600 mm deep and 600 mm deep has span of 10 meter has span of 10 meter. The effective pre-stressing force the effective pre-stressing force the effective pre-stressing force is 980 kilonewton is 980 kilonewton at an eccentricity of at an eccentricity of 120 mm 120 mm. The dead load of beam is the dead load the dead load of beam is just 1 minute. Okay. The dead load of beam is 4.5 kilonewton per meter and and the beam has to carry a live load of 7.5 kilonewton per meter. Full stop. Determine the extreme stresses. You mark this problem as important problem. This type of problem may be asked in the examination. So we want to determine the extreme stresses, where we want to determine first at end section. Second, at midspan section. Without action of live load. Without action of live load. And third, at midsection at midsection with the action of live load, with the action of live. Okay. So what they have told us in the problem, pre-stressed concrete beam of rectangular section is given to you. The dimensions of the rectangle are also given to you. Width is 300, depth is 600. Its span is also known to you. 10 meter is the span. Effective pre-stressing force is 980. So 980 is the pre-stressing force and at an eccentricity of 120 mm. That is also known to you. Dead load is also given 4.5 kilonewton per meter. And then beam has to carry a live load of 7.5 kilonewton per meter. So live load is also given to you. Okay. So we need to determine the extreme stresses first at the end section, second at midspan section, and third at the midsection. For second at midspan section without the action of live load. So without considering ML by Z, without considering live load. And last one is the at midsection with the action of live load. So by considering the live load. So we will go by our regular method. Okay. So first what we will do, I will draw the diagram for your understanding. So here, see, this is our cross section of the beam. Okay. So this dimension, this it is 300. This total dimension is 600. So this is given to us. So this is 300 mm and this dimension is 600 mm. Now if I draw the beam along its length, it will be like this. This is the beam. Okay. And the span of the beam is also given to you. So this span is 10 meter. Okay. And I will draw the support over here. So this is the support. Okay. So this is the beam. Now we will draw the neutral axis. So this is the line which tells us the position of neutral axis. This is the neutral axis. Okay. Now I will draw the tendon. Tendon line we will draw. So it is stated in the problem that an eccentricity of 120 mm. So here it is not exactly on the neutral axis. Remember this. Okay. So eccentricity is given to you. So your tendon may be somewhere here. So this is the tendon. Okay. And this length, this eccentricity, it is given as 120 mm. Okay. Then pre-stressing force of 980 kilonewton. So I will draw over here. This is the pre-stressing force. It will act over here, and this is 980 kilonewton. 980 kilonewton. In addition to this, dead load is given and live load is given, and both are in unit of both the loads. If you see, it is kilonewton per meter. Here you can see that. See, here it is 4.5 kilonewton per meter UDL, and live load is 7.5 kilonewton per meter. So both are UDL. So this much of data is given to us. Okay. So here if I show you the tendon, so it is like this. At this point somewhere it is over here. Okay. And this is again, that this dimension up to this. Okay. Center of the bar. This is the eccentricity and it is 120. This is given to us. 120. Okay. So this much is our given problem. So we will calculate the values which required us to calculate the extreme stresses. You know that by using now here the eccentricity is present, E is present. So your direct stress will be there, P by A will be there. Then P by Z is also there. Okay, stress due to eccentricity. Then stress due to moment, that is M by Z. Okay, but here in earlier problem, what we used to do, we used to calculate the total moment. That total moment is nothing but moment due to dead load plus moment due to live load. That total moment we used to consider. Or in the earlier numericals, they only give us the load including the self weight. So we haven't calculated the dead load separately. Or if we have calculate the dead load separately, then also we have add it into the moment to calculate the M by Z. But here they specifically mention us that first you take calculate the extreme stresses without considering live load. So there we don't consider the moment due to live load and we calculate the stresses. And in the next iteration, we consider the live load again. Okay, and we will calculate the stress. Okay, so how to do that? Let us see over here. First, what we will do, we will calculate area A. So take the calculator in your hand and give me the answer quickly. Okay, so area is 300 by 600. So how much it is? 300 by 600, 6 3s are 18 into 10 raised to how much it is? 180 into 10 raised to 3 mm square. It is 180 into 10 raised to 3 mm square. Please check it. Then section modulus Z. Section modulus Z. It is BD square by 6 as it is rectangular section. So 300 into 600 square divided by 6. Calculate this. Let me know the answer. Section modulus. What is the answer for the section modulus? What is section modulus? Let me know. But 300 into 600 square by 6. किती येते करा ना कॅल्क्युलेटर वरती लवकर फास्ट. Let me know the answer please. Do the fast calculations. 300 into 600 square by 6. You can tell the answer in chat also, no? 300 into 600 square by 6. What is the answer? It's 18 into 10 raised to 6. Okay, mm cube. The answer is 18 into 10 raised to 6 mm cube. Others, please do check the answer. Okay. So now further, they have given us dead load is equal to 4.5 kilonewton per meter. So I will draw here dead load. This is dead load, UDL. How much this is? This is 4.5 kilonewton per meter. This is dead load. And then live load is also acting. Okay. So again, I will draw the live load. This is the live load. Okay. I will try to draw it on the similar way. This is the live load. This is also acting. And this live load, it is 7.5 kilonewton per meter. Okay. Live load is 7.5 kilonewton per meter. Now we will calculate the moment due to dead load and moment due to live load. Okay. So moment due to dead load. त्याला आपण notation देऊ MD, moment due to dead load. Now you can see over here Just now think about the dead load. Don't think about the live load. Now see, this is our simply supported pre-stressed concrete beam, which carries a dead load of 4.5 kilonewton per meter. You know the span also. So what is your maximum moment? Simply supported beam carrying UDL, it is WL square by 8. So I will put the values over here. It is WL square by 8. So it is 4.5 into 10 square divided by 8. Calculate this. This is our moment due to dead load. Calculate it. Let me know what is the answer. $56.56. Okay. So the answer is 56.25. Okay. 56.25 kilonewton meter. So this is our moment due to dead load. Now similarly, see again if we see the beam here along with the dead load, live load is also there. What is live load? It is 7.5 kilonewton per meter. So calculate the moment due to live load now. Okay. So moment due to live load ML. It is again same, simply supported beam carrying UDL. Maximum is WL square by 8. So 7.5 into 10 square divided by 8. What is the answer? $93.75. Okay. So 93.75 kilonewton meter. This is the answer. Okay. Now please understand the change. What we do in the earlier problem. In earlier problem, आधी काय करत होतो ते सांगतोय बरं का. In earlier problem, there is no question. Now here, what is the question? They ask us to calculate the moment due to to calculate the extreme stresses without considering live load moment. असं आपल्याला प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये सांगितलं त्यांनी. म्हणून आपण काय केलेलं आहे? व्हॉट वी हॅव डन, वी हॅव कॅल्क्युलेट द मोमेंट ड्यू टू डेड लोड सेपरेटली अँड मोमेंट ड्यू टू लाईव्ह लोड सेपरेटली. इथं आपल्याला असं करता येत होतं ना. हिअर यू कॅन इझिली डू दॅट. बोथ ऑफ दीज लोड्स आर युडियल. बोथ ऑफ दीज लोड्स आर युडियल. वन इज डेड लोड, अनदर इज लाईव्ह लोड. आपण स्ट्रक्चर अनालिसिस करताना सुद्धा काय करतो? शेवटी डेड लोड आणि लाईव्ह लोडची समज करतो ना, युनिट सेम असलं तर, आणि मग बेंडिंग मोमेंट काढतो. DCS1 मध्ये सुद्धा हेच करत होतो आपण. Same thing we were doing in the DCS1. We calculate the dead load, we calculate the live load, we add them and we calculate the moment. इथं सुद्धा तुम्ही करू शकता. Here also you can do 7.5 plus 4.5. It is 12. It is 12. But why we have not done that? Why we have not done that? In the problem they have asked us to calculate the extreme stresses without considering live load. जर तुम्ही ह्याची ऍडिशन करून ह्याला 12 केलं तर ते लाईव्ह लोड तुम्ही कन्सिडर केला त्याच्यामध्ये. मग तसं आपल्याला त्यांनी कुठं विचारलंय? त्यांनी सेकंड पॉइंट मध्ये काय विचारलंय आपल्याला? व्हॉट दे हॅव आस्क्ड इन द सेकंड पॉइंट, इफ यू सी ऍट मिड स्पॅन सेक्शन विदाउट ऍक्शन ऑफ लाईव्ह लोड. सो दॅट इज द रिझन वाय वी हॅव डोंट ऍड दिस. जर ह्यानी या न्यूमरिकल मध्ये हा जर सेकंड पॉइंट दिला नसता, if they have not given this second point in this numerical at the midspan section without action of live load, हे जर प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये दिलं नसतं तर आपण इथं डायरेक्ट दोघांची ऍडिशन करून घेतली असती आणि डायरेक्ट टोटल बेंडिंग मोमेंट कॅल्क्युलेट केली असती. लक्षात घ्या डिफरन्स. इज इट क्लिअर? yes, no? Whatever I have told right now, is it clear or not?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. So the purpose of taking it separately, it is mentioned in the problem. They don't want live load. Okay. So that is why we have here separately calculate the moment due to dead load and moment due to live load. Okay. So don't add these two moments. Actually, in the earlier problems, we used to add these moments, or we used to add the load itself, so that we get the total moment. Okay. So up to this point, now it is clear to you. Okay. So now we will go step by step. First, what they have asked, determine the extreme stresses at end section. End section means which part? I have already told you, okay, what is the end section? Okay, so I will again highlight over here what is the end section. So this part, whatever you are seeing over here, okay, I will choose the different color. This part, see this part, whatever I have marked right now, this part is nothing but this is called as end section. This part is called as end section. Okay, and if you see at the end section, both the supports are placed. Okay, both the supports are placed. So what is the bending moment at the end section? Bending moment at end section due to live load and dead load, it will be 0. Okay, तुम्ही दुसऱ्या अर्थाने पण घेऊ शकताय. At the end section, supports are present. Okay, simple supports are there. So you know that while drawing the bending moment diagrams, that you have, there also you have studied that simple support is not that much of capable of taking the loads. Not much of capable of taking the loads. Okay, so the bending moment at simple support is always 0. The bending moment at simple support is always 0, and supports are always placed at end sections. Supports are always placed at end sections. इथं जर तुम्हाला म्हटलं या end sectionला या supportला इथं bending moment किती आहे, तुम्ही सांगणार 0. If I ask you the next question, what is the bending moment due to dead load at this end section? You will say 0. If I ask you what is the bending moment due to live load at this point, at this support, it is 0, because at simple support the bending moment is 0. Okay, everything is 0. Here also the same thing is that, and these supports are present at the end sections. So I can say that at the end section, the moment due to dead load and live load are 0. Okay, depending upon the boundary condition. So at the end sections, the bending moment due to live load and dead load are 0. Okay, depending upon the boundary condition. Simple supports are here, and in your syllabus, only simply supported pre-stressed concrete beams are there. Only simply supported. That's it. Okay. So even though in the numerical, if they don't they don't have specify any supports in the numerical, still you have to take the simple support. Note down this line. This is the important thing I am telling you. Okay, even though in the numerical, if they don't mention the types of supports provided to your given structure, then also you should take the simple support. Okay, because simply supported pre-stressed concrete beams are there for you. Okay, so my point is that you should be clear with this thing, that at the end section, the bending moment is 0. At the end section, bending moment is 0. Okay, so here I will also give you that note. You write down this note. This is very important. Note. Okay, this is for your understanding. I am telling you the note. You can take it down. Okay, very important. So note is that at end section, the bending moment due to external load, which are the external loads? External loads are dead load and live load. Okay, dead load and live load. Bending moment at end section due to external loads is 0. Okay, so here if I start to calculate at end section now if I consider the end section of this pre-stressed concrete beam, now at end section, I will give the heading here first so that it will be easier for you to understand. So at end section, okay, so at end section, now you can tell me at end section here, if I see the diagram, what will present at the end section then? Now this is the pre-stressed concrete force P. So direct stress will be present, that is P by A. Okay, then you can see at the end section, this tendon is not at the neutral axis. This tendon is below 120 mm from the neutral axis. So at an eccentricity of 120 mm. So stress due to eccentricity is also present over here. So how many stresses are present? Two stresses are there. First is the direct stress, that is P by A, that you know very well. Second is the PE by Z, that is the stress due to eccentricity here. Okay. And third one is we always take M by Z, but here at the end section, due to our boundary conditions, due to support, the moment due to this dead load and live load is zero. Okay, because simple support doesn't have the capacity to carry the moment. So M by Z will become zero. That is ML by Z is also zero and MD by Z is also zero. Okay. So here at the end section, I will write the stresses one by one. If you don't understand, you can ask me the question. Okay. So at the end section, I will write direct stress due to pre-stress. Direct stress due to pre-stress, it is P by A. You know that it is always plus at the topmost fiber also, at the bottommost fiber also. Okay, so this is the direct compressive stress, so it is plus. So P by A, what is the value of P? 980 kilonewton. So 980 into 10 to the power 3 divided by, what is the area? 180 into 10 raised to 3. So area is 180 into 10 to the power 3. So what is our answer? P by A. What is the answer? P by A.
5.45 MPa.
Okay. 5.45 Newton per mm square or megapascal, you can say. Okay. So next is the stress due to eccentricity. Stress due to eccentricity. Okay, which is equal to PE by Z. Now we need to decide it is plus minus or minus plus. पाठ करू नका म्हणून तुम्हाला सांगितलंय. आणि it can be either minus plus, एक तर ही possibility असेल. Okay, it may be minus at top and plus at bottom. So at top it may be tensile, at bottom it may be compressive, that is minus plus, or it may be plus minus, or it may be plus minus. Both the possibilities are there. Okay, at top it may be plus compressive, at bottom it may be minus tensile. So this sign we need to find out. Instead of mugging it, we will find out logically. Okay, where we need to take plus and where we need to take the minus. P by Z. Now we will go back to our diagram. Now here you can see we want to find out the P by Z. Okay, so whatever this circular part is there, this circular part, okay, that only we can think about that much of the part. Okay, this circular part. So if you see here is the pre-stressing force P. Now if I rotate this pre-stressing force about the neutral axis, if I rotate over here about the neutral axis, it will rotate in this direction. Okay, so what it will try to do with the neutral axis, what it will try to do here also, you can see it will try to rotate in this way about the neutral axis. So it will try to uplift. It will try to uplift. बरोबर आहे ना? It will try to uplift means what? असं आहे. It will try to uplift म्हणजे असं होईल. त्याला असं वर उचलत. Okay. It will try to uplift like this. असं जर बेंडिंग झालं तर काय येईल मग? Tension is at top and compression is at bottom. Okay, खालच्या हात माझ्या जवळ आले ना? So compression is at bottom. Okay, and tension is at top. Is it clear? Okay. Yes, no? So it will be tension is at top, so minus, and compression is at bottom, it is plus. हे minus plus कसं आलं कळालं आहे का?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is minus plus PE by Z. So minus plus. Now I will put the values. So P is 980 into 10 to the power 3 into eccentricity, it is given 120 mm, divided by Z. We have already calculated the value of Z, 18 into 10 to the power 6. So it is 18 into 10 to the power 6, which is equal to minus plus. Let me know the answer. Okay, so answer is 6.5 into 10 raised to 12. Okay, असं कसं answer येतं? Please check the answer once again.
6.53.
6, 6.53. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So 6.53 Newton per mm square. That is megapascal. So this is the answer. Now, as I have already told you, m by z is 0 over here. Okay. So moment due to external load, which is equal to m by z, okay, which is 0 kilonewton meter. I have told you the reason, because at end end section the supports are placed. So supports are simple supports. Simple supports are not having the capacity to carry the moment. That is why at the simple support the bending moment is 0. That is why the moment due to external loads is 0. The meaning of this is at end section MD we are going to take 0 and ML is also 0. Moment due to dead load, moment due to live load is 0. That is why the total bending moment is also 0. Okay. So stress at top. So the resultant stresses now we will calculate. Resultant stresses where at end section we have calculated. So in that now, first at top, okay, which is equal to sigma t. We call this as a sigma t, which is equal to P by A. It is always plus, okay. And now if you look over here, it is minus plus P by Z. So at top it is minus. At top it is minus. So minus PE by Z. So if you put the values, 5.45 minus 6.53. 5.45 minus 6.53. You will get the answer over here. Okay, let me know the answer. Similarly, at bottom, it is P by A is plus. Okay, then if you see over here, P by Z is also plus at bottom. Okay, so plus PE by Z. Again, 5.45 plus 6.53. Let me know both the answers. Minus 1.08. Okay, so this is minus 1.08 Newton per mm square. Minus means it is tensile. Minus means it is tensile. And next one is 11.98. So 11.98 MPa. Okay, 11.98 MPa. So we will draw the stress distribution diagram now. Okay, so here it is the cross section. I will draw the diagram fastly. So this is the cross section. Already you know the dimensions. This is 300 mm. This is 600 mm. Then this is our neutral axis. Neutral axis. I am drawing stress distribution at end section. Then I will project the line so that it will be easier for me to draw the shape. So I will project the topmost fiber as well as I will project the bottommost fiber. तुम्ही पण diagram draw करताना असंच draw करत जा. So first is the direct stress. So the direct stress we have already calculated P by A. So I don't have the space to give the name. You should give the name below that stress distribution diagram. Now whatever this rectangle we have drawn for the direct stress, below that you should give the name. Okay, you should give the name. So now here it is. This is P by A, so 5.54. Okay, and here it is also 5.45, not 54. And then here it is also 5.45. Okay. Then again I will draw the baseline for the next, that is the second stress. Here stress due to eccentricity, it is minus plus 6.53, minus plus 6.53. So at top it is minus. So I have already told you this is our baseline. This line is our baseline. The positive values we will plot along the right hand side of this baseline, and the negative values we will plot around the left hand side. Okay. So this answer is negative. So here I will plot 6.53, and then it is plus P by Z. So plus 6.53. This is the diagram. Okay. So below this diagram you should give the name. This is the stress due to eccentricity. This is plus. Here it is minus and plus. This is 6.53. This answer is 6.53. We have solved this. Now the resultant diagram. Final diagram is the resultant diagram we are going to draw. So what is the resultant diagram now? Now this is again our baseline. So on the left hand side minus 1.08, that we will plot over here. 1.08, it is a small value, 1.08, and at bottom you can see 11.98. So at bottom the large value is there. So the diagram will be like this. Okay, this is the diagram. So this is 11.98. So this is 11.98. I will write here 11.98. You should give the units to every quantity. You should write MPa in front of them. Okay. So this is minus, this is plus. This is the resultant stress distribution diagram. When you add these two diagrams, you will get this resultant stress distribution diagram. हे प्लस आणि इक्वल टू सुद्धा तुम्हाला समजायसाठी मी तिथे केलेले आहे, तुम्ही करू नका. ओके. सो दिस इज फॉर युअर अंडरस्टँडिंग पर्पज. So 11.98. So this is the stress at end section. This is all about end sections. I hope now it is clear. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we will move further part of the numerical. If you read the further part, what they have asked now, number 1 is finished. Now number 2, at midspan section without action of live load. So what is the difference between end section, midspan section? We have already discussed. Okay, so this is the end section at the end and midspan section is at the center. And you know that what is the big major difference? At midspan section, M by Z is present. Moment due to dead load and moment due to live load, both are present at midspan section. Okay, and at end section, both are zero. That is the only difference between end section and midspan section. Now we will consider at midspan section without the action of live load. Okay, so we will calculate the stress at midspan section without the action of live load. So here I will write stress at midspan section without action of live load. Okay. So all the values are there with us. म्हणजे असं जास्त काही करायची गरज नाही आपल्याला याच्यामध्ये. So now what are the stresses and forces will be there? So we can calculate it. We have already calculated. बघा आता इथं काय काय असणार आहे. Roughly I will write here in this diagram. ते तुमच्या बॅक ऑफ द माइंड मध्ये चालायला पाहिजे लगेच काय काय स्ट्रेसेस येणार काय काय नाही. सो ऍट सेंटर आहे ना. So I will write over here, then I will erase. You note it down. P by A will be there. Okay, P by A will be there. Then at this point, see, this is the tendon. Tendon is at an eccentricity E. So if you see the stressing force present in the tendon, and this stressing force, if you rotate about this neutral axis, the direction will be same like this. Okay, so it will hog the beam. Hogging means tension at top and compression is at bottom. Okay, so stress due to eccentricity will be present PE by Z. Tension at top, compression is at bottom. And for the midspan section, due to this vertical load, for this midspan section, due to this vertical dead load and live load, there will be the generation of stresses due to dead load and stress due to live load. In the previous problem, we called it as a stress due to external loadings, that is dead load and live load. So here I can write then stress due to dead load. Okay, so it is MD by Z, stress due to dead load, and stress due to live load ML by Z. Again, this is plus minus, this is plus minus. Okay, ka? The load is vertical. Why? Because this is your beam, load is vertical, UDL is there, vertical downward load is there. So due to downward load, it will move like this, or the shape of the bending will be like this. Because the load is downward, load upward असता तर असं bend होणार, downward load आहे. So it will bend like this, it will sag, it will sag. So you can see that compression is at top. माझे हात बघा जवळ येतात वरती, वरच्या टॉप फायबरला जवळ येतात. Okay, top fiberला. So at top compression will be there, and at bottom tension will be there. Okay, so it is at bottom it is minus, at top it is plus. That is why I have wrote here plus minus. At top it is plus, at bottom it is minus. So these are the total forces. These are the total stresses which are present over here. काही नाही, फक्त इथे जे आपण एम बाय झेड घेतो तो कंबाईन एम डी प्लस एम एल दोघं एकामध्ये ऍड करायचो आणि एम बाय झेड घ्यायचो, त्यालाच फक्त आपण सेपरेट केलेलं आहे एम डी बाय झेड आणि एम एल बाय झेड. Okay, previously we take it as a combine M by Z. Now just we have separated. Now here this is for the third condition. This is for the third condition. All the loads will be there. For second condition, you don't consider this. Okay, they ask you without considering this. पूर्ण सगळं consider केलं तर कुठली condition आली? Third condition. If you see third condition at midspan section with the action of live load. So if you consider whole this equation, then it will be the third condition. But for the second condition, don't consider this quantity ML by Z. Okay, so that will be without what? Without live load. So I will write this equation now. I will erase from here first. I hope now it is understood. If you have not understood, you can ask me right now. Okay, we are dealing with the same numerical now. So here I will write at top sigma t is equal to P by A minus P by Z plus MD by Z, which is equal to, what is the value of P by A? So P by A we have already calculated 5.45. P by A is always plus, then minus P by Z 6.53. It is 6.53. Now again plus MD by Z. What is the MD by Z? That is stress due to dead load. So here we have calculated MD, but we have not calculated MD by Z. So divide this bending moment by Z. So here it will be plus 56.25, it is kilonewton meter. So multiplied by 10 raised to 6. So it will convert it into Newton mm and divided by Z. What was the value of Z? We have calculated. What was the value? It is Z is 18 into 10 raised to 6. So it is 18 into 10 raised to 6. 18 into 10 raised to 6. Now if you solve this, you will get the sigma t, stress at top. Let me know the answer. So 2.04. Okay. Others, please do check the answers also. 2.04 MPa. Okay. And at bottom now, at bottom, sigma B, which is equal to, it is P by A plus P by Z minus MD by Z, which is 5.45 minus 6.53 minus this 56.30. किती आली याची व्हॅल्यू 56.25 divided by 18.
3.125.
3.125. Okay. So this value, so I will write here directly this value 3.125. 3.125. कशामुळे आली तर ही व्हॅल्यू 3.125 आलेली आहे. दिस व्हॅल्यू परत नाहीतर कन्फ्युजन व्हायचं. 3.125 MPa न्यूटन पर mm स्क्वेअर आलेलं. So 3.125. Now here sigma B is equal to, let me know the final answer. Minus 4.20. Okay. मायनस येते का? चेक केलं का?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is minus 4.20 MPa. So we have again calculated stress at top, stress at bottom. So we will draw the diagram again. Okay. So stress distribution diagram that needs to draw. So this is the cross section. Now I will not write much more details. Now you know every detail. We have drawn 2-3 times this diagram. Every time it is same. So I will project this cross section. Okay. Then the neutral axis. This is the neutral axis. Okay. So now first is the P by A, that is direct stress. So that direct stress, this is your P by A, direct stress which is always positive. So it is 2.04. This is always positive direct stress. Next, I will draw the baseline first. Baseline, this is the baseline, that is the stress due to eccentricity P by Z. It is minus and plus. Okay. So at top it is minus. So it is minus. At bottom it is plus. At bottom it is plus. So this is 6.53. 6.53. At top minus, at bottom plus. Here also you can write the values at the bottom and also give the name. I don't have the space, that is why I have not added over here. So lastly, MD by Z. So again I will draw the baseline. This is the baseline. Then MD by Z. MD by Z you have told me 3.125. Okay. So it is plus minus. At top it is plus, at bottom it is minus. So at top it is towards right, plus. And then at bottom it is minus, so towards left. This way the diagram will be there. Okay. This is the stress due to dead load. Give the name to this stress distribution diagram. Stress due to dead load, plus and minus. And lastly, our stress distribution diagram. So this is the stress distribution diagram. Here, this is the baseline. At top 2.04. Stress at bottom 8.85 ka?
In this problem at bottom we have to consider plus PA by Z.
Plus
PA by Z value plus घ्यायला पाहिजे.
घेतली ना मग प्लस पीई बाय झेड आहे का इथं?
नाही इथं पुढे -6.53 घेतलंय.
अहो मग टॉपला मायनस आहे, बॉटमला प्लसच आहे ना. हे काय 6.53 कर्सर दिसतंय का लाल तुम्हाला? हॅव यू
नाही
सीन दॅट?
डायग्राम मध्ये नाही, ऍक्च्युअल कॅल्क्युलेशन केलं ना सिग्मा बी च.
हा मग इथं आहे ना प्लस. आहे काय पीई बाय झेड प्लसच घेतले की इथं काय 6.
पुढे
इथं होय. हा इथं लिहिताना मायनस लिहिलंय का मी? मग तुम्ही घेताना पण मायनसच घेतलं का मग? इथं मी प्लसच लिहिलेलं आहे की इथं चुकून माझ्याकडनं लिहिताना मायनस झालं. हा बघा किती येते आन्सर सांगा.
सर पण टेन्शन मध्ये मायनसच घ्यायला पाहिजे ना.
टेन्शन कुठे येते? कॉम्प्रेशन कुठं जातंय? बॉटमला जाते का नाही? टेन्शन टॉपला यायला लागले ना पीई बाय झेड मध्ये. सी युअर न्यूट्रल ऍक्सिस कुठे आहे? बघा इकडं. अगेन कम टू दिस पॉइंट. See midspan section, concentrate on midspan section. This is your midspan section. Okay. Again, if I show you the forces, हे टेंडन आहे तुमचा. ह्याच्यामध्ये प्रिस्ट्रेसिंग फोर्स असणार आहे या टेंडन मध्ये. ओके. Now this is the yellow line is your neutral axis. Now if I rotate this prestressing force about the neutral axis, see the diagram. It will rotate in, this is the direction of rotation. Now this will try to bend the neutral axis in this way. Okay, in this way. Okay, so if this is the case, then what will happen? Here the compression is at bottom and tension is at top. Okay, have you understood? Now if the tension is at top, then this is minus. If the compression is at bottom, then this is plus. So at top it is minus, at bottom it is plus. So here if you see that the same thing, it is reflected over here. See at top, here top we have taken it as a minus. Here at the top we have taken this as a minus, at bottom we have taken this as a plus. Okay, because its shape is the hogging, it will bend like this. At top it is tension, at bottom it is compression. So at top it is minus, at bottom it is plus. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes sir.
Okay, so what is the answer? It is 8.85. Is it right? 8.85.
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
Okay. So now here, now we were drawing this resultant stress distribution diagram. So at top 2.04. So here at the top it is 2.04, and at bottom it is 8.85. So at the bottom it is larger here somewhere, 8.85. Okay, and I can join these 2 points like this. Okay. So this is the diagram. At bottom it is 8.85. You should give the units na MPa. सगळीकडे तुम्ही युनिट द्या, मी दिलेले नसले तरी. Okay. So this is 3.125. At bottom also you should write 3.125, 6.53. This is 2.04, and give the units. Okay. So this is the stress at midspan section without the action of live load. So here we haven't considered the live load. Okay. We have not considered the live load. So now last one. Stress at midspan section. Stress at midspan section with the action of live load. With the action of live load. First, what we will do, we will calculate the stress due to live load first. मगाशी आपण डायरेक्ट काढला होता ना स्ट्रेस ड्यू टू डेड लोड. इथं आपण काय करू, आधी कॅल्क्युलेट करू. वी विल कॅल्क्युलेट सेपरेटली द स्ट्रेस ड्यू टू लाईव्ह लोड and then we will use it in our equation. So stress due to live load, okay, so which is equal to it is ml by z, moment divided by z. It is nothing but the stress. It is again plus minus. It is simple like a dead load सारखा असणार आहे. Okay, if you see midspan, so this is your beam. Okay, so if I draw the supports, these are the supports, and your live load will act vertically. Okay, म्हणजे तुमचा लाईव्ह लोड असा ऍक्ट व्हायला लागलेला आहे व्हर्टिकली. UDL आहे पण मी असा arrow मध्ये दाखवतोय तुम्हाला समजावं म्हणून. So it is acting vertically down. So due to this, what will happen? Your beam will bend in this direction. This is the direction of bending. Okay, due to this vertical load. So you can see there is a compression is at top and tension is at bottom. Okay, compression is at top and tension is at bottom. So at top plus, at bottom it is minus. So that is why I have written plus minus ml by z. Okay, plus minus ml by z. So next, moving further, plus minus ml. What is the live load moment we have calculated? Live load moment, it is 93.75. 93.75 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 18 into 10 raised to 6, I think. Okay, right. 18 into 10 raised to 6. Let me know the answer. What is the answer?
5.21 MPa.
5.21 MPa. Okay. So now we will calculate the stress at top and stress at bottom. Resultant stresses. So the resultant stresses. First, at top, sigma T is equal to, it is P by A minus P by Z plus MD by Z plus ML by Z, which is equal to 5.45 minus 6.53 plus 3.125 plus 5.21. What is the final answer? $7.25. Okay, it is 7.25 Newton per mm square. Then at bottom, sigma B is equal to, it is P by A plus P by Z minus MD by Z minus ML by Z, is equal to 5.45 plus 6.53 minus 3.125 minus 5.20. If you solve, you will get the answer. लेक्चर मध्ये लेक्चर झाल्यावर लावतो. नाही काय देणार लक्षण मॅडम किंवा मार्गे मॅडम लक्षण 3.65. Okay, so the answer is 3.65 MPa. And the last part is, we will draw the diagram of this again. So again, this is the cross section. So I will project this. Then the neutral axis we will draw. This is the neutral axis. Then first diagram is P by A diagram. This is P by A, which is what? 5.45 MPa plus at both 5.45 MPa. Here you can write stress due to pre-stress, direct stress due to pre-stress. This is 300 mm. This is 600 mm. Here you can write direct stress due to pre-stress. Okay. Second, draw the baseline first. This is the baseline. Then PE by Z, PE by Z, minus at top, and plus at bottom. So it is minus plus. Okay, so what is the value? 6.53. It is 6.53 MPa. 6.53 MPa. त्याला आपण नाव काय देणार तुम्ही? Stress due to eccentricity. Stress due to eccentricity. Okay. Next baseline. This is again a baseline. Now MD by Z, stress due to dead load, that is MD by Z. So it is at top plus, at bottom it is minus. So it is 3.125 MPa. It is plus minus 3.125 MPa. And here you can write stress due to dead load. This is the stress due to dead load. Then next one. Next one is stress due to live load. The same diagram will be there. Okay, so I will draw the small diagram so that it will not overlap with the other diagram. This is 5.21 plus minus 5.21 MPa, and this is your stress due to live load. And then your final diagram. Now this is the baseline. The final stresses are 7.25 at top and 3.65 at bottom. So 7.25 at top, then 3.65 at bottom. Now we can join these 2 points. This is your resultant stress distribution diagram. Okay. 3.65 MPa and 7.25 MPa. And this is your resultant stress distribution diagram. Okay. So I have given the naming to this diagram in this numerical. Only to this last diagram I have given the naming and all the values and everything. So for every diagram you should do like this. प्रत्येक डायग्रामला तुम्ही असं करायला पाहिजे. ओके, फॉर एव्हरी डायग्राम इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड दॅट you should do it like this. Okay, so this is the numerical. If anybody is having any doubt, any difficulty, you can ask me. I will give you 1 minute. See the problem, and if anybody is having any difficulty, you can ask me, or otherwise we will move for the load balancing concept. Is there any difficulty, any doubt is there? You can reply me in the chat. First, the communication should not be one way, it should be two way. So give me the response. Shall we move to the next load balancing concept? Have you understood the problem?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. Just I will ask you one question. Okay. If in the numerical that second condition is not given, suppose now. Okay. At midspan section, all the stresses you need to calculate the resultant stresses without considering the live load. So जर point दिला नसता, so what will be your approach to solve this problem? Then which step will get minimized if that is not given? Are you getting my point? See this second point. Others says the second point I have problem मध्ये. Where is the problem? Here. This second part. If this was not, imagine that this is not given in the problem. They have not asked you to calculate this. Okay, imagine this. They have not asked you to calculate this second point. Then what will be the change in the step? असं जरी केलं तरी चुकत नाही तरी सुद्धा पण what will be the change? So here whatever two different diagrams you have drawn, the only change is that here you whatever two different diagrams you have drawn, stress due to dead load and stress due to live load, हे दोन वेगळ्या डायग्राम न येता इथं एकच टोटल बेंडिंग मुवमेंटची डायग्राम आली असती M by Z. Okay, it will not be two separate and different bending moment diagrams. It will be only single bending moment diagram. If exclusively they have not asked us anything regarding dead load and live load. Okay, so they have exclusively mentioned don't consider live load. So that is why we have separately calculated dead load and live load. This is the thing. So now next point is the load balancing concept. Just I will rebrush. I have already to tell you the load balancing concept. In that we get the vertical forces. That vertical component of the force is nothing but it is 2p sine theta. That we have already discussed and we have already seen. Still, I will draw two diagrams. See, this is the beam. The neutral axis. Now I will draw the bent tendon. Okay. This is the bent tendon. And here, let us say that the force is P. Here, along with the tendon, the force is P. This is P force, stressing force. Now you can see that if I draw one horizontal line over here, one horizontal line like this, and this dimension is total dimension. This is nothing but eccentricity E, and this dimension E will be at the center. It will be maximum at the center only. Okay, so it is E L by 2. L by 2, and this is also L by 2. Now, if you observe carefully, if this angle is theta, if this angle is theta, then this angle also theta. If this angle is again theta, then this angle is also theta. Because these two triangles are similar triangles. Similar triangles have equal angles. ही side जर तुम्ही बघितली तर दोन्ही triangle मध्ये या same आहे. Okay. This side is also equal, and this angle is 90 degree in both the triangles. So these two triangles are similar by SAS test, side angle side test. So the similar triangles have their sides in proportion as well as equal angles. Okay. Now my point is here the stressing force is P. So in the tendon, to maintain the equilibrium, we can show the free body diagram so that the force will be like this. Okay, stressing force. In the tendon, I am talking about tendon. Tendon मध्ये कसा असणार आहे? If you draw the free body, that is what I am showing over here. Now, if you see it properly, this is the stressing force P, which is at an angle theta. So we can resolve this force. Similarly, we can resolve this force also. If we resolve both the forces, then it will be here P sine theta. This is the P sine theta. And on the another direction, here it is. This is P cos theta. This is P cos theta. Then again, if you resolve this P, then one more component will be there along this line. And this will be again, it is P sine theta. Okay, and along x-axis, like this. This is called as P cos theta. P cos theta. So now if you carefully observe, this P cos theta will get cancelled to each other. Okay, but this P sin theta, both are acting in the same direction vertically upward. So the vertically upward load, I will use the notation WC, the net upward load, vertical upward load, or we can simply say upward load. Upward load is equal to what? It is 2P sin theta. And what is sin theta? So now if I want to calculate the sin theta, then here I will first calculate tan of theta. Tan of theta is equal to what? It is opposite side. See, this angle is theta. Opposite side, that is E. Okay, opposite side, that is E, divided by, what is the adjacent side? This is the adjacent side. So this is the adjacent side. This is the opposite side. This is the adjacent side, which is L by 2. Okay. So here So here theta is very, very small. So as theta tends to 0, sin theta is nearly equal to tan of theta. Okay. So this is the formula which we are going to take the upward load as 2p sin theta. Okay. This is the upward load. When the point load is acting, remember this. When the point load is acting on the beam, when the UDL is acting, then the formula is different. Okay, when the external load is a point load, then while using the load balancing concept, this formula you need to use. When external load is the point load, then you have to use this formula. And when external load is UDL, then I will tell you what is the next formula. So for UDL, if I draw the parabolic tendon, then it will be like this. Okay. So now suppose the eccentricity is E. This eccentricity is E. Okay. Then the vertical resistance offered by this, what we can say, tendon. Okay. So the vertical load is, suppose it is WC, it is 8 PE upon L square. It is 8 PE upon L square. Vertical, or you can say upward load. Vertical, or you can say upward load. Okay. So if we solve the problem based on this now, then this concept will get cleared. Very easy concept and numerical is there. Okay, just within a one numerical, your concept of load balancing will get clear. So we'll take the numerical. A pre-stressed concrete beam a pre-stressed concrete beam 400 mm wide, 400 mm wide and 600 mm deep, 600 mm deep, has a span of 6 meters. Has a span of 6 meters. Full stop. The beam is pre-stressed with the tendon. The beam is pre-stressed with the tendon as shown in figure. As shown in figure. Okay. The external load on the beam, the external load on the beam consists of consists of central consists of concentrated load of 180 kilonewton at midspan. Full stop. If the effective pre-stressing force is 1200 kilonewton, calculate extreme stresses at midspan. Read the problem carefully. Okay. What is the problem? Pre-stressed concrete beam 400 mm wide, 600 mm deep, span 6 meter. तीन dimension दिलेले आहेत. Pre-stressed with a tendon shown in figure. Figure में draw करतो आता. The external load on the beam consists of a concentrated load of 180 kilonewton at midspan. So at the center of the beam, there is an external point load is acting whose value is 180 kilonewton and it is acting at the center of the beam. If the effective pre-stressing force is 1200 kilonewton, calculate the extreme stresses at midspan. Okay, so this is 1200 kilonewton. So now if I draw the diagram, this given diagram I'm going to draw first. This is the beam. So here it is simply supported at the ends. So here it is the simple supports. Then at center there is a point load. This is the load, which is 180 kilonewton. And the profile of the tendon is a bent tendon. That profile I will draw. Before that, we need to draw the neutral axis. This is the neutral axis. I will take it little bit up so that we can draw the bent tendon properly. And now we will draw the bent tendon profile. Okay, so this type. This type of tendon is there. Okay, so here is the pre-stressing force. There is the pre-stressing force. It is not eccentric tendon at the end. At the end, it is passing through the neutral axis. Yeah, point la. At the end, it is passing through the neutral axis. So now this eccentricity, it is 140 mm. This is given as 140 mm. Okay. And this P, the value of P, this P, 1200 kilonewton. This is the pre-stressing force. And then this span The span is 6 meter. This much of given data is there. Yeah, they have not mentioned anything about the dead load. Now see how we are going to use this concept. So here you remember, here we don't consider the stress due to eccentricity separately. PE by Z term is getting eliminated from the load balancing concept. Okay. Here we will take P by A and M by Z. Direct stress and bending stress. P by A and M by Z. These two. P by Z we are eliminating by taking the vertical force 2P sine theta. In that, while calculating the theta, that external what we can say eccentricity and the length, it is automatically getting considered in that formula. Okay. So now here I can show you this span, this length. This is how much? This is 3 meter. And this angle is theta. Okay. Theta. Then now, first of all, calculate tan of theta. If you see the diagram, this is the diagram. Okay. Now, first of all, I want to calculate what is the upward force. Due to this bent profile of the tendon, you don't know that if this is the pre-stressing force P, here will be there will be the generation of pre-stressing force P, free body diagram. In that way, we can show. So the upward component of that P will be P sine theta. Similarly, for this side the tendon also, the upward component of this P will be P sine theta. So vertically upward, the force is 2P sine theta. Okay. So value of P is known to us 1200. So for that term, we will calculate the value of theta. Okay. So here I will write tan of theta is equal to opposite side. What is the opposite side? So opposite side is this much. Tan of theta 140 and divided by, this is the adjacent side. Adjacent side is 3 meter. So it is 140 divided by 3000. How much it is?
0.047.
0.047. This is tan of theta. Okay. Now calculate the upward force. The upward force हा कशामुळे डेव्हलप होतोय? Due to the tendon profile. If we keep the tendon in this bent fashion, then this force will get generated. If the tendon is straight, then the P will be only the straight horizontal force. But if the tendon is bent at an angle theta, then this will happen. Okay. So remember this, the upward force. मग तिथं का घेतलं नाही, इथं का घेतलं, इथं का केलं तर याच्यासाठी केलं. Okay. So the upward force, it is 2P sine theta, which is equal to 2 into 1200 into हे काय तुमचे जे आलेले ते घ्या 0.047. Okay. Because why? कारण इथं तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, if theta tends to 0, then sine theta is nearly equal to tan of theta. Okay. When theta tends to 0, sine theta is nearly equal to the tan of theta. This we already know that. We have studied in the algebra, geometry, trigonometry. Okay. So what is the value of upward force? What is the value of upward force?
$112.8.
Okay. It is 112.8 kilonewton. This is our upward force. Now see, if I see the diagram, see here. If I see the diagram, here the downward force is 180 kilonewton. And due to this bent shape, the net upward force is generating from here, that we have calculated as 2p sin theta, which is 102.8. मग upward आहे 112.8 आणि downward किती आहे 180. So what is the net force? So the net vertical force आणि हे सगळं मिडस्पॅन ला होतं बरं का. at midspan is equal to 180, which is downward, minus 112.8, which is upward. What is the answer?
$67.2.
It is 67.2 kilonewton. So this is downward. Am I right? 180 downward है ना? So 180 minus 112.8. So 67.2 kilonewton downward. So the net downward load on the beam. So the net downward load on the beam is 67.2. Okay. So calculate the bending moment due to this net downward load. What is the bending moment due to this net downward load? So moment due to the downward load. Moment due to net downward load. Net down load or force is equal to. So it is, see, a point load is there. Simply supported beam carrying point load. What is the general formula to calculate the bending moment?
WL/4.
WL/4 is the specifically when the point load is acting at the center. Your answer is correct. WL/4. But we use the WL/4 when our point load is acting exactly at the center. If our point load is not acting at the center, then what is the formula to calculate maximum bending moment?
WAB/L.
WAB/L. Okay, that is the generalized formula. So I don't remember this particular formulas, but you should remember always that generalized formula WAB/L. Point load simply supported beam वरती कुठेही असू दे, तुम्हाला जर बेंडिंग मोमेंट कॅल्क्युलेट करायचे आहे तर रिमेंबर द फॉर्म्युला WAB/L. ते WL/4 ऑटोमॅटिक येतं त्याच्यामध्ये. ओके, so the formula is WAB/L, which is equal to W is 67.2. WL/4 पण करेक्ट आहे बरं का, त्यात काही चुकीचं नाहीये. A and B, it is acting at the center, so A is 3, B is also 3, divided by L is 6. Solve this and let me know the answer. $108, 100.8. Okay, that is the bending moment. 100.8 kilonewton meter. So this is the bending moment. Now here if you read the problem carefully, they have not told you that they have considered the self weight. बरोबर आहे ना. प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये असं दिलंय का कुठे इन्क्लुडिंग सेल्फ वेट आणि असं तसं काय म्हणलंय का प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये? नाही म्हणलेलं. सो इन द प्रॉब्लेम इट इज नॉट क्लिअर दॅट और इट इज नॉट गिवन टू यू that they have considered the dead load in this weight. It is inclusive of dead load or dead load is considered. Likewise, there is no any sentence in the numeric. So we have to calculate the dead load of the beam also. समजतंय? इथे इन्क्लुडिंग सेल्फ वेट म्हणून म्हटलेलं नाहीये 180 किलो न्यूटन इज ऍक्टिंग इन्क्लुडिंग सेल्फ वेट वगैरे म्हणलेलं आहे का? नाही म्हटलेलं. सो हिअर we have to consider the self weight of the beam also. Okay, so I will write over here self weight that is dead load is equal to, what is the cross sectional dimension? 0.4 by 0.6. 0.4 by 0.6 into 25. What is the answer?
Six.
6.
6. It is 6 kilonewton. Sorry, kilonewton per meter, not kilonewton meter, kilonewton per meter. Okay, so this is the self weight of the beam. This will also act vertically downward. Self weight कसा act होता नेहमी vertically downward. To calculate the moment due to self weight, due to dead load, moment due to dead load, which is equal to, it is 6 into, what is the span? Again 6 square divided by 8. So what is the answer?
27.
27 kilonewton meter. आता जर if you read the numerical carefully, in the numerical they don't mention that, don't consider the live load, don't consider the dead load, without this and this, nothing is asked to you. Only they have told you to calculate the extreme stresses, that's it. Okay, if so now here we can take the total bending moment now. सेपरेट करत बसण्यामध्ये काही पॉईंट नाहीये. लाईव्ह लोड वेगळं घ्या, डेड लोड वेगळं घ्या, तसं प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये आपल्याला त्यांनी विचारलेलं पण नाहीये. जर तसं विचारलं असतं तर आपण लास्ट प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये घेतलेलं आहे सेपरेट. ना हिअर दे डोंट आस्क अस. ओके, सो नाउ वी विल कम टुगेदर. So the moment due to downward force, that is this live load, it is 100.8, and what is moment due to dead load? It is 27. So I will take the total bending moment. Total bending moment M. This is total bending moment M, which is equal to MD plus ML. Moment of dead load plus moment of live load. So it is 27 plus 100.8. So it is 127.8 kilonewton meter. So the total bending moment is 127.8 kilonewton meter. Now this is the total bending moment M value we have calculated. Now we will calculate the values which we required to solve the problem. So here now calculate the area. First area आपण काढलेलाच नाहीये.